And it is now 8 o'clock, or reasonably close. Our first jar of wheat is sprouted pretty good. If your wheat was alive, it should be sprouting pretty good. The sprouts probably won't be very big, but mine are tiny, but almost all of them are sprouted. Little tiny sprouts popping out of most of the grain. At this point, we have something that is half grain and half whole fresh vegetable, ready to be cooked. 10 times the enzyme level, a nutritional powerhouse, ready to be cooked. We're going to take a pan, dump our wheat in the pan. We're going to add 3½ cups of water. I've already measured out the 3½ cups. And we're going to cover it and put it on the stove and bring it up just to boiling. We're not going to cook it on the stove, we're just going to bring it up to boiling because we're going to cook it in the thermos. Set the timer on the microwave. It typically takes, on my stove, it takes about 7 minutes to bring it up to boiling. And while we're waiting on that, we'll take our second jar, do the usual routine, rinse the wheat and drain it. And you might want to do it one final time just before you go to bed. I usually do. I did not include that in the video, but I usually do hit it one last time before bedtime to help keep it damp overnight. I will set that one aside. Meanwhile, the first batch is on the stove, heating up. Okay, we'll set this one aside. We take our first jar that we just emptied, clean it out a little. And we're going to refill it with a fresh batch of wheat, if I can find the funnel. And there it is. And there's the 1/3 of a cup of wheat already measured out. There we go. Once again, and we'll start this process over. We now have a perpetual system that will yield a good amount of food for breakfast every morning with very little effort, just simply by rinsing the wheat a few times a day and each evening starting a fresh batch and cooking one of the previous batches. Now this is a brand new fresh batch. Overdid it. Forgot to tap my wheat down before flooding it. Okay, there we go. And as usual, you know, 1 inch or 2 above the level of the wheat. Something like that. Pretty good. Set it aside. This now becomes jar number 2. And it looks like we have about 4 minutes to go before our wheat comes to a boil. So I'm going to take a break in the video, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. And we're back. The beeper on the microwave is going off. Means the wheat is boiling. Okay. We take our handy 3-liter bottle thermos and a spoon, which I forgot to have ready. And we pour our boiling water and wheat into the thermos. 32-ounce thermos, by the way. I forgot to mention that early, but you need a 32-ounce thermos is what it needs to be. I'm going to try to get this in here quickly as possible. Straight from the stove while it's boiling. Every last grain of wheat in there. There we go. Alright, it's all in there. Quickly get it capped. Shake it up a little. And we'll set the thermos on its side all night long. We're done with it. We'll just leave it laying on its side. It cooks more evenly like that. And basically that's it until morning. Come morning, this will be cooked, and we'll be throwing that in the blender for breakfast and resuming work on the jars of wheat. I guess that's it for tonight. Have a great night. God bless you, and I'll see you in the morning. It is the next morning. It is 8 o'clock, boys and girls, moms and dads, ladies and germs. Time to wrap this up. First off, I wanted to say something I forgot to mention last night regarding the placing the food in the thermos. Kurt Saxon, the man who originated this method, felt it was necessary to preheat the thermos. I have not found it necessary to do that. I believe if you have a good quality thermos, that's just a waste of water and resources to heat the water. So if you have a thermos that's, shall we say, less than spectacular quality, you may find it necessary to preheat yours. If that's the case, it's a simple procedure. Just heat up a quart of water to the boiling point, fill your thermos with boiling water, and let it set for 5 or 10 minutes, and dump it out immediately before you fill it with your boiling wheat. And as I said, I have a good quality thermos. I have not found it necessary to do that. You be the judge based on the quality of your thermos. That being said, let's proceed. Our wheat has been cooking in the thermos all night now. It's been in here for 12 hours, so it'll be done. I like to pour off some of the broth first because I don't want my cream of wheat too watery, so I like to pour off some of the broth into a separate, smaller thermos and drink it later on in the day. It's really good. It's reminds me kind of like slightly watered down vegetable soup to drink later on in the day. And we'll pour our wheat into the mixer, blender. Now you'll have to determine the right thickness for you. It can be any thickness you like and any consistency you like, anywhere from oatmeal to soup. I like mine kind of a medium thickness, and I like it completely liquefied. So I have my broth, I don't know if you can see it there on my crappy camera, my broth level in the blender is about 1 inch above the level of the wheat in the bottom. Oh, also, I like to have a little sugar in mine. I like mine a little sweet, so you can sweeten it or not. I like about a tablespoon of sugar in mine. And we'll blend it for about a minute on high. And the vita-mix, I love my vita-mix. This thing will liquefy anything I throw in it. So we're going to give this about a minute on high. Okay, that's been going for about a minute. Ah, look at that, piping hot. Oh yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Like I said, I like mine kind of thin to medium thickness. And I like mine totally liquefied. You can experiment, find what's right for you. And there you have it. Piping hot, fresh. Real cream of wheat. And there you have it. And that's going to wrap it up. Thanks to Kurt Saxon, the originator of this method. And I'm Sir Joey. Thanks for watching.